All right, okay, as we start the warm-up, if you can see what I'm seeing right now, you'd be having a good time, yep. So what we're starting off first is some side stepping, just waking up those abductors a little bit. The outside of the lower extremities, moving side to side. You can tell Camilla and Ryan are especially having the best time ever. Okay, now we're gonna throw in some butt kickers. Okay, so waking up the quadriceps a little bit, bring your heels to your behinds. Try not to hit anything behind you as you squeeze those shoulder blades. Working on a little bit of shoulder retraction. Bring the elbows back. You can tell that Camilla has the most coordination out of the three, which isn't surprising. Okay, a little bit of heel taps, okay, so waking up the hamstrings a little bit with a little bit of an arm curl. So making sure with every step, let the heel touch down, getting a little bit of a pull on the backside of your legs. And now we're going to work on a little torso rotation, reaching across the body. Okay. Notice some are just keeping their feet stationary while Ryan Solberg in the middle is doing a little rotation of the ankles. So do whatever version works for you. If it hurts, don't do it. The purpose of the warm-up is to get your body warmed up, ready to go. Now we're going to do a little bit of a stretch, waking up the lats a little bit, reaching up, over, and across the body, waking up the shoulders, the outside of the upper back, getting the body ready to do work. Warming up tissue temperature. And now we're going to roll the shoulders back. Getting the shoulders ready to go. Rolling back, now forwards. Very good. Now we're going to do some swimmers. Doing the backstroke. Arms reaching back. Excellent. Okay, now we're going forwards. Forward stroke. Reaching up, over, and forwards. Okay. Now we're doing breaststroke. I was going to think, what is that called? So I already say doggy paddle, but that wouldn't make sense. Yeah. Okay. Now we're doing the butterfly. And now we're doing the Michael Phelps stroke. Going for the gold here. Reaching up, over, and across. Okay. Now a little modified squat. So reaching all the way down and coming all the way up. Okay. Waking up the glutes, the hamstrings, the quads. Reaching up, over, and above the head. Everything's being engaged right now. We love these compound movements. Keeping the arms up above the shoulders. Pressing into the big toes, waking up those calf muscles a little bit. Okay. Very good. Okay, we're ready to go.
All right, we're going to explain this workout program. It is a circuit training style exercise program with each intensity level having 6 exercises to perform in order. The first intensity level is low intensity, with every exercise being performed for 12 to 15 reps. The moderate intensity exercise level has each exercise being performed for 8 to 12 reps, and the high intensity exercise level, each exercise is performed for 5 to 8 reps. So the idea is, since it's a circuit training program, you should try to complete 2 to 3 rounds of each circuit, either staying at one intensity level or mixing and matching. For example, you could start your first round with the low intensity, do your second round at the moderate intensity, and your final and third round at the high intensity if you so choose. Have fun with it and mix and match how you see fit. All right, we are going to start our first series of the low intensity exercises with a core exercise called the wood chopper. Tiffany has a medicine ball You can use a dumbbell, a milk or water jug, or even a couch cushion if you don't have a medicine ball at home. Tiffany will straighten her arms and reach the ball towards her hip and up in a diagonal motion towards the shoulder. Wonderful. Don't forget, you've got two sides, so Tiffany's going to demonstrate the other side as well. And look how strong she is. That's a 30-pound medicine ball she's just throwing around like a toy. All right, our next exercise, we're going to be working some of our upper body push muscles. All you need is 2 dumbbells, preferably light ones for this exercise. We're going to be doing something called the dumbbell uppercut. So keeping your elbows slightly bent, you're going to be lifting your arms up in front like Tiffany is. If you feel comfortable, you can raise those dumbbells up as high as your shoulders will let you. All right, our next exercise is to work some of our back muscles. We're going to be doing something called the dumbbell bent over reverse fly. Long name, I know. Tiffany's going to be in a bent over position with her back flat and her arms slightly bent. She's going to squeeze her shoulder blades together as she lifts her arms out to the side. Here you want to use pretty light dumbbells. This is a challenging exercise. Tiffany's using 3-pound dumbbells on this one. Excellent. All right, our next exercise is to work our legs. My favorite, a variation of the squat called the sit to stand. So Tiffany's going to simply stand up out of the chair using her arms for balance and momentum to get out of that chair by reaching them forward. If you needed to make this any harder, you could try folding the arms over your chest, and now you've got to use your legs just a little bit more. Notice her back position and the slow sit down to the chair. All right, our next exercise is to work the glutes and hamstrings. We're going to be doing a tube deadlift. So you'll need a resistance tube or band, and Tiffany's going to stand on the middle of it. Make sure that band or tube is right under the middle of your foot. You don't want that sliding out and hitting you in the face. It would not be fun. So Tiffany's going to bend over, and make sure you keep your back extended flat, just like Tiffany is here, and then stand up straight using those glutes as you squeeze to stand up. If you needed more resistance, you could grab lower on the tubes, choke up on the tube or the band, whatever you've got, and that'll just tighten that resistance for you. All right, our next exercise, we couldn't let your legs rest too much, so we're going to combine working our arms and our legs by doing a shallow wall sit with some arm curls. All you need is some dumbbells or cans, books, milk jugs, whatever you got. And simply bend down to a depth that is all right for your knees, but still working those legs, and do some arm curls. Pretty simple. Nice work. All right, kicking off our moderate intensity exercise, we are going to do a core combo with a wood chopper with a squat. So holding that medicine ball or other resistance that you may have at home, you're going to reach that ball down to your hip and squat down, pivot from that leg, and reach up across your body. Notice Kevin extends on his toe on that trail leg with each rep. And don't forget that you have 2 sides, so do your other side as well. Wow, that's grace and power combined into one. All right, our next exercise, we're going to work some of those upper body push muscles, namely our shoulders and triceps, and even the chest a little bit. We're going to be doing something called a bench dip, although we're using a chair. If you've got a bench, a couch, a chair, you can do these. Start by trying to sit on your hands somewhat so that you can keep your arms close to your upper body, and then slide your bottom off that chair or bench and bend your elbows as you dip down and push yourself back up. If you wanted to make this harder, you could slide your feet further away from the chair and even straightened for getting a little more weight onto your upper body. Choose the variation that works best for you. All right, our next exercise, we're going to be working some of those upper body pull muscles. We're going to be doing a single arm tube row. Kevin's demonstrating with a band, but when you grab this band, you can just kind of choke up higher up to grab more resistance. And notice how Kevin staggers his feet. He's going to pull that band back, and the arm he's pulling with, that same side leg will be the back leg with the staggered feet. Pull the elbow back, keep the arm close to the body, and don't forget to do the other side. Kevin's using a tube on this one. Handles can be a bit tricky to grab both with one hand, so Kevin grabs a little higher up on that band, or on the tube, I should say. All right, moving on to our next exercise for the legs. We're going to do one of my favorites, the pause squat. So bring your feet about shoulder width apart, toes slightly turned out, and we're going to hold the arms out in front of the body as you squat down. We're going to try and hold that for 3, 2, 1 seconds and stand back up. Notice Kevin keeps his back flat, extended. Do a few more for us, Kevin. 1, 2, 3. Try and count slowly. It's easy to count too fast on these. I know they don't feel great. If this is a little too challenging, just don't squat down as low. Choose a depth that allows you to work your legs without hurting the knees. All right, moving on to our next exercise. We're going to be doing a dumbbell deadlift to work our glutes, hamstrings, and lower back. So holding dumbbells in each hand, put the dumbbells just in front of your legs and bend forward as you reach your hips back. Try and keep a slight bend in your knees and make sure that that back stays extended. It helps to keep your chest lifted as you do the exercise. Make sure that each rep you go down far enough that you feel a slight stretch in your hamstrings. Of course, if that's causing any discomfort, you can modify the depth of your reps as you go. All right, we're going to do a tough combo exercise working both our legs and our arms. Kevin's going to go down into a wall sit, trying to get to 90 degrees with the knee and start curling those dumbbells. Now he is using 100-pound dumbbells here, so don't do this at home unless you have biceps like Kevin's. Excellent work, Kevin. All right, kicking off our high-intensity exercise circuit, we're going to be doing a core exercise. All we need is a medicine ball or some sort of resistance like a dumbbell, milk jug, or even a couch cushion again. Shanda's in a lunge position and holding the resistance straight out from her body. She's going to rotate towards her front leg and then back to forward. Excellent work. Use your legs to keep that stability. Try not to move anywhere else but the core. And of course, make sure you work both sides. You would have to switch legs to rotate the other way. All right. Our exercise in the high intensity group for our upper body push muscles is an exercise I have named the armchair liftoff. All right, this is a very challenging exercise. Of course, you need a chair with arms on it. So sit on the front edge of that chair and put your hands on those sturdy arms. Hopefully your chair is sturdy enough to do this. Shanda's going to keep her feet touching the ground for this first variation and pick her bottom up off the chair using only her arms. Minimal help with the legs. They're just there to take a little weight off the exercise. Now, if you feel like you're really strong, you want to prove how strong you are, try picking your feet up off the ground with you as you push yourself off of the chair. And now we get that aptly named liftoff. Working the core pretty good too, huh, Shanda? All right, moving on to our high intensity upper body pull exercise. We're going to do something called a tube upright row. This is going to work your shoulders, your upper back, and even your biceps. So you need a tube. You got to stand on the middle of that tube. Now, the wider you put your feet, the harder this exercise becomes because you're going to be stretching that tube more. Stand up tall, and then what you want to do is pull your elbows up as high as you can, keeping the hands close to the body. Exactly. Don't worry about how high up you're lifting your hands. Just think, lift your elbows high. Beautiful. All right, we've got a doozy for you. This is our lower body quad dominant exercise. We're going to be doing a sit to stand, but with one leg. So stand in front of your chair, take one foot off the ground, and try and sit slowly back towards the chair. Ooh, that's tough. And then rock yourself back up as you stand. Keep those arms reaching in front of you for counterbalance and a little momentum to help you get off that chair. Nice work, Shanda. Okay, moving on. We're going to be doing a stagger stance deadlift to work some of those posterior lower body muscles, glutes, hamstrings, lower back. There is two sides to this, so we're going to demonstrate one. Make sure you do the other. But you want a lunge position, just not very low, and that back foot shouldn't be too far away from the front. As you can see, Shanda here, she's got her back foot on the toe and a slight bend in that front leg. And she's holding the dumbbells at her sides as she bends forward, keeping her chest up. With each rep, you should feel a stretch in that front leg, but in the back side of that front leg. Notice how she keeps her back nice and flat. Excellent work. All right, moving on to the last exercise of the high intensity circuit. We're going to do a combo exercise working the legs and the arms. We don't want your legs resting too much. So, Shanda's going to demonstrate an arm curl, but while in a squat position. So Shanda squats down to a challenging position, holds that squat, and does her arm curls. Look at that form, folks. Excellent. She is currently curling 30 pounds on each arm. If you can beat her record, send us a video and let us know. Good job.
Okay, our workout is completed. Now we're going to do some static stretching to cool down. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold on to the chairs with both hands. We're going to bring one foot back. Okay, you're going to keep your weight over that front foot and then press the back heel down to the floor to feel the stretch in the calf muscle of the leg that's back. Okay, and if you want to do an optional hip flexor stretch, you can bring the hand of the leg that's back up into the air. Feel the stretch in the hip flexor. Okay, and the psoas. Ryan Arson, point to where your hip flexor and psoas is at. Okay, very good. Okay, and then we're going to switch legs. Doing the same thing on the other side. You can either keep this just as a calf stretch, or if you want to combine the two, you can do the calf and the hip flexor, so totally optional. All right. And once we finish with that, we're going to come out of that position. We're going to have a seat in the chair. We're going to sit forward in the chair. Okay, we're going to sit way forward and bring either the right or left leg extended. Doesn't matter which one you do because you're just going to be doing the other side. The leg's going to be straight. Toe is going to be pointing up towards the ceiling. Hands on the bent leg. You're going to sit up nice and tall in the chair. Back is flat. Shoulders are pulled back. And then you're going to take a big deep breath in. And then exhale as you hinge forward from the hip so that you feel a nice, lovely sensation as you feel the stretch in the back side of the extended leg. Now, ideally, we want you to hold every stretch for at least 30 seconds, but for time purposes, we're just going to be holding it for a little bit less than that. Okay, let's switch sides. Other leg extended, sitting up tall, shoulders are pulled back, deep breath in, exhale as you hinge forward from the hip, keeping that toe pulled in, leg is straight, back is flat. Very good. And we're going to pretend that was 30 seconds. Now we're going to take left ankle on top of the opposite knee. Okay, we call it the figure 4 stretch. And sit up nice and tall in your chair. And so we're trying to engage the hip of the leg that is elevated. Okay, you're going to sit up nice and tall. And how you increase the tension on the stretch is not by pressing your knee down, it's by hinging from the hip. So the further you hinge forward, the more of a stretch you're going to get in that hip. Okay, so do a variation that works for you. I always like to tell people that on a scale of 1 to 10, you should be about a 6. So you should be uncomfortable, but should not be excruciating pain. Okay, now let's do the other side. Sitting up tall. Okay, and then hinging forward, or you can remain upright, whatever version works for you. Okay. If you feel any tension in your knee by just being in that position, you can pull your toe in, and sometimes that can help to alleviate any tension that you have off of that elevated knee as well. All right, let's put that leg down. Okay, now you're going to bring the hands together. You're going to reach forwards. We're going to do a little bit of a protraction where we're trying to keep the shoulders down, the neck is relaxed, and you're going to push your spine to the back wall behind you, reaching forwards. Okay, it's like you're trying to separate your shoulder blades. So you bring the shoulder blades apart, stretching that upper back. And now we're going to bring those hands all the way up towards the ceiling. Pretend someone's grabbing you by your wrist and is going to pull you up towards the ceiling. So reaching all the way up. Feeling that stretch in your shoulders. And then you're going to break the grip and slowly drop the elbows down. Open up the chest. And then you're going to bring the hands behind your back like you're going to handcuff yourself. Now we're doing the opposite stretch. We're going to open up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and pull the shoulders back. We're going to pretend that was 30 seconds, and then you're going to slowly release the grip. Let the arms hang down. You're going to roll the shoulders back. Okay, 4 or 5 shoulder rolls going back. And then we're going to let the arms hang down. Okay, we're going to stretch that lower back. And just to do a little tried and true tradition that we have here at the Live Well Center, this is totally optional, but if you want to do a breathing exercise, we're going to take a big deep breath in through the nose and bring those hands all the way up towards the ceiling, breathing in through the nose, exhale through the mouth on the way down. We're going to do this 2 more times. Big deep breath in all the way up. Exhale on the way down. Last one. And very good. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourself a pat on the back. You made it through a workout.